Hey folks, this is Frank from the Non-Productive Network, wishing all of you a happy birthday 2020. That's not what anybody says. A happy New Year from everyone here at Non-Pro. Yeah, that's it. In this new year, we need your help to make our network better than ever, just by answering a few questions. Go to non-productive.com/survey and tell us a little bit about what you want from our shows. And you can enter for a chance to win a fabulous thank you prize and, of course, get the opportunity to sound off about everything you think about our station. Once again, that's non-productive.com/survey, and thanks for all your support.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, Dave. Do we curse on this podcast?
Yes, Eric. Yes, we do.
Test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Are you ready, kids? Get your parents' permission, check your mailbox, and grab your shopping cart. It's time for the Adventures in Collecting podcast.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Dave. Welcome to Adventures in Collecting, where we talk toy news, culture, and hauls.
Along with our journeys as collectors. All right, and we're back.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest who we'll introduce in just a moment. But so just some house cleaning. Thanks so much last week.
What is it, Dusty?
No, 2 weeks ago? What? House cleaning?
I thought it was housekeeping.
Hey, we didn't intro you. Shut up. Shut up, you. Shit, we're gonna redo this intro.
No, we're not. No, this is staying in.
No one knows who I am. Like, it's gonna be some big surprise. Nobody knows who the hell I am.
We've cleared up some cobwebs and taken some stuff out to the trash, and now we're ready to talk to you. And also, we're gonna tell you about what you've missed over 2 weeks.
Yeah, that. Thank you so much to Ryan, Weapon X Customs, for being on the last episode. Great interview. It was so much fun getting a chance to talk to him, and thank you to Ryan for sharing the episode the way that he did. Much appreciated. On today's episode, we have...
I guess this is part 2 of the second episode, in theory?
Yeah, it is.
It is a continuation of episode 2.
I almost said his name,
Revenge
and I had
of
to,
the
like...
Sith. No,
I had to
it's not
pull
that.
back. It's not Revenge of the Sith. We have Heather's boyfriend.
Yeah, Heather's boyfriend's here.
The real Heather's boyfriend.
As promised,
In the
he is
flesh.
Heather's boyfriend.
As far as I know, she may have other ideas.
Along with Heather's boyfriend, we are going to play another edition of Name That Toy in a bit.
Yeah.
And our main topic for today is going to be Toys to Life, because that's what Heather's boyfriend is an expert in.
And I was on vacation too.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll cover.
going to sneak my name in. I'm going to.
And we'll fucking bleep it out.
I know you will.
So
Damn
here's
it, they're going to take
here's
it out
the
in
thing:
post.
if we're referring to Aerosmith, then your name will be mentioned.
Yeah. Yep. Otherwise,
and there's a chance because I'm going to talk about vacation.
Otherwise, if somebody says, it's going to be bleeped out.
I can't deal with the post already.
All right, so it's been a while since we've had a news and hauls, and there has been a near literal shit ton of news since the last time we were on.
Okay.
There really has been. It's been a lot. I honestly, I know we said the last time that we were here, that leading up to Toy Fair there was gonna kind of be a lull in news, and
Oh, that's true. Because I even posted something while on vacation and saw. Yeah, that's true. I haven't talked about that yet. Wow. Okay.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like we said leading up to Toy Fair that it was gonna kind of slow down, and it didn't. I'm gonna jump in with the one that is kind of like the newest and freshest one at this point. We got to talk about the Child. Sideshow Collectibles just killing it,
Like
putting out.
yesterday. wasn't it?
Yeah. Today is what we're recording this on Thursday the 30th, and just yesterday, the Sideshow actually broke their website by releasing a life-size replica of the Child, and it looks incredible.
And it's only $350, which is
What
crazy.
a steal.
Yeah, compared to like some of the other stuff that they put out,
Isn't
it is
like The
just
Rock that they made like the
wild.
Dwayne Johnson. it's like $500, more than that.
Yeah, some of those premium format figures, even like the Star Wars ones, like they have a really great I forget the term that they use for it, but it's a Ben Kenobi, like it's a Tatooine Ben Kenobi, but it's supposed to be Ben Kenobi between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So like he's kind of like he looks like a younger Alec Guinness, Sir Alec Guinness, and even that figure's like $500. So like you're getting effectively a movie prop for $350.
Right, but when you think about it, all the detailing is in the head. Like he's wearing a burlap sack, he's wearing potato sacks.
So wait, I was wrong. The Rock is $750.
There you go. But think about it. Like you do the head, you're good. The body is kind of just like a blob with little green arms poking out.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to articulate. That's the big one. But I already have a few of our social media friends like Yakface, and I think Toyshes. I think they both grabbed it. So hopefully we'll see some pictures. And I know our friends at Non-Productive, they're looking to like all chip in and get one to like keep in their studio. So maybe we can pull some strings and borrow them, get them into our quote unquote studio,
yeah,
for an episode, just so that we can get hands on them as their resident toy podcast. But
I mean, I could just bring over the 10-inch pop when it comes out.
I have the what is it? I think it's like 7.5 inches tall. The $25 Hasbro one, the one that like the talking plush. I have that pre-ordered. It comes with a bone broth cup and a frog. What else do you need?
Yeah.
Other news: the McFarlane's like literally kicking off 2020 with a bang. We talked about the leaked photos and then very quickly announced photos of the DC Multiverse figures on the last episode, or 2 episodes ago. Well, they are officially out. Street date has happened. People are picking them up. They look incredible in person. I've seen a couple.
They're much larger than I thought they'd be.
Oh yeah, and especially at that $20 price point. I mean, they're charging the same thing as a Marvel Legends, or
and it's about a whole head taller.
Yeah, I'd say I mean, they're calling them 7-inch figures, and that's exactly what they are. They're big. I haven't seen the whole wave, but the ones I have seen look great. And
who did I see out? I saw Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, you've seen that wave already. You've seen the with the Batmobile pieces?
Yes.
Wow. I haven't seen those yet. The only ones I've seen are the animated series ones. So like I saw Harley Quinn and I saw Batman. I haven't seen Superman. I haven't seen the other Superman, Green Lantern. I haven't seen any of those.
I haven't seen Superman or Green Lantern, but I saw Nightwing and Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, that's awesome.
At Newberry Comics.
Yeah, I
in Palisades Mall.
Just there.
There is a list. There are live listings on Walmart to pre-order. I'm not doing it until I see what they look like, but the Arkham
Pretty sure
Asylum.
I saw it. Why would I think I didn't? I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
there
pretty sure I saw it.
there are DC collectible versions of those figures.
Yeah, but the pieces of the Batmobile I remember because the box was bigger.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I believe they had them.
But those officially came out, and
I may be wrong about the store, but I definitely saw them in the Palisades Mall.
And what's the comic magazine? Previews Only, Previews World. It's one of those like it shows up in comic book shops, but there's an ad in it for something that you'd think McFarlane would have made already, but they're doing a 7-inch super articulated Spawn figure, which looks incredible. It's based off of his Mortal Kombat look because they're adding him as DLC, but the figure looks unreal. I can't wait to see that. Hopefully there's more of this stuff at Toy Fair, and there's maybe they're going to show a little bit of Wave 2. Star Wars news has been relatively dead in terms of new product. Some of the Mandalorian stuff is finally reaching shelves. Like there's a Mandalorian mask, there's the Mandalorian like gauntlet Nerf thing that looks awesome. Some of that stuff's starting to get out there, but yeah, it's just been like it's been a wild ride with all of the DC and McFarlane stuff. And like I mentioned, that Baby Yoda, or the child, excuse me, broke the interview.
Favreau.
Yep. He's gonna be mad at me.
We found him.
Fav's gonna be mad. Dave, you wanna hit some wrestling stuff?
Wrestling.
Yeah, out of nowhere, Elite 75 and the new Basic series. Basic, what are we up to at this point? I want to say it's like 105, 106. Basic 106 and Elite 75 showed up at Ringside collectibles. Those are out. They also have the exclusive black costume Jushin Thunder Liger up for pre-order. But also just, the network spotlights are starting to hit Target. 74 is hitting Walmart, which has the Jim the Anvil Neidhart store exclusive. And the store exclusive Peyton Royce is starting to hit Target from Elite 73. So that stuff is out there.
I still haven't seen that Gorilla Monsoon. I keep
I
looking
haven't
for
seen
it.
Gorilla Monsoon either.
I've seen the Wave that he's supposedly part of, but I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen Cassius Ono. I haven't seen Paige. I've never seen any of these. But the other thing too, that I saw, and I actually talked about this while I was on vacation, when they announced it, was Lego put out the Manchester United Stadium, Old Trafford, to the point where while I was walking around Disney Springs, we went in the Lego store and they were starting to build it. It is a large item.
Yeah, and Legos, they
It
have
is.
like a weird social media strategy, like how they advertise stuff.
The Lego Ideas stuff is awesome, and that's what it was born of. And that is, I've seen it built because I've been to a Lego store since. It is a big scale item. Like it's pretty cool. It is every bit of that $300 price tag
Do they have any soccer minifigures?
that come with it.
Oh, there are ones that come with it.
But it's almost like a purchase bonus.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like if you're VIP and you purchase this, you get these three players.
Is there since we have Heather's boyfriend here, is there any I know we're eventually going to get into the Toys to Life stuff, but do you have any news from that front?
Not really. So the thing about Toys to Life is people kind of think the bubble has burst. So Nintendo is still continuing to develop. I know the last kind of set they put out was for Link's Awakening on the Switch. They put out a cute little figure, but that was probably the last one. The only thing I see now is like restocks for a lot of the Smash Bros. Figures. So those are what we kind of stay tuned for. They're still releasing those. They're putting out one for every single character in the game. I'm not sure if they're doing DLC as well, but every base character in the game, like 80 characters, are all getting an amiibo. So that's probably it on that front. But yeah, I'll kind of go into that a little more when we do fully break into the history of Toys to Life. But I was going to talk about the child, but we already addressed that.
I stole your thunder.
Baby
Oh,
Yoda.
and,
Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda.
Funko announced those Contra Pops, which are
Oh
awesome.
yeah, and that was the other thing. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. That London Toy Fair where Funko was just like, "Hey, look, we're doing everything now."
Yeah.
They have a whole new line coming. They're in
The soda cans.
the soda cans, which I actually think those look incredible. They look, and of course they have that blind bag element to them. But the packaging is cool. Like the figures come in soda cans, and you pop them open, and you don't know which one you have. And of course, there's a chase, and Funko has us all kind of glued to the whole chase game.
Is that the one with Han Solo and Carbonite that I saw?
That's
Did they announce that?
That was announced at London Toy Fair.
Yeah.
It
that's
was
just a regular
originally just
pop.
in a
Right,
movie
right.
moment, but now it's just a regular pop.
Yep,
Yeah.
and that's for the 40th anniversary of
Empire.
Empire.
I will be buying that.
Yeah, there's a whole line, and there's a whole line of Black Series figures that leaked out too. They haven't been officially announced yet. Similar to how they did the 40th anniversary of A New Hope 2 years ago, last year. Where they have the 6-inch figures, but they're on that kind of like vintage collection card. They're not in like the Black Series box. They have like the nice old school looking card, which looks really fun on those 6-inch figures. It's there's a really nice like display factor there. Some of them look like they're going to be straight repacks. Bespin Han looks like he's a straight repack, but fine. That figure is gorgeous. If you didn't get a chance to get him the first time around, you can
Oh,
get
I
him now.
did. Don't worry.
But yeah, there's going to be so much stuff for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. I think there's already Yakface was reporting there's a 6-inch Black Series probe droid,
Okay.
Imperial probe droid that's
Ooh.
coming. But Funko at London Toy Fair, they announced a whole line of Star Wars. They announced a whole
So
line
many
of
music,
Oh,
like
yeah.
so many rocks
Yeah.
in the Rocks line.
Aerosmith,
Slipknot.
Slipknot,
Yeah, so they're making a Steven Tyler pop.
with the big mouth,
Yes.
and it's incredible. He has
Great
the-
name on that guy. Great
Oh,
last
man.
name.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, who? Steven Tyler?
Yeah,
Great last name.
there's a Steven Tyler pop.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler of Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know how we feel about our fans.
Well, that's Joe Perry, who there also is a pop of.
Yep.
So
And didn't they announce Papa Emeritus?
no, Papa Neil
Papa Neil
and
from Ghost, yeah.
or Nil. Slipknot.
Papa Neil, like not Neil, like
What did I say? Slipknot, ZZ
Slipknot,
Top,
ZZ Top,
Easy E, Salt
yeah.
and Pepper,
Salt and
Willie
Pepper.
Nelson.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's been a ton.
They're doing the rest of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so many.
There's a lot. It's-
Marilyn Monroe.
We could be here
Farrah,
for weeks.
Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
two.
those were after the fact.
Oh, that's right. Those were after. Yeah, but I like the black and white. I think it's an FYE exclusive, maybe.
Or is it Entertainment
Oh, the
Earth?
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, one of
the
them. Yeah,
Marilyn
there's
Monroe,
and it's
yeah.
like the famous like skirt vent.
That was a
scene.
cool one.
Yeah,
There's Some Like It Hot. Yeah.
yeah. I love how the Farrah Fawcett one is lying down. Like,
That's her famous poster.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but it's just like
It's fantastic.
it's
they
it's
they crushed
amazing.
those.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the new ones announced. I'm curious to see what else they have left in the tank at this point. I don't know if they just took London Toy Fair to be there.
Some more soccer play. There's always going to be a pop culture thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they announced finally some Chelsea players. So
You've had some already.
did we?
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably gonna get that Christian Pulisic for my desk.
Fair.
That's probably gonna happen. But yeah. So tons of news. Expect more. Now we're reaching that point where like the leaks coming into Toy Fair are gonna start to happen because as the vendors and everybody in the manufacturers start to prepare for their trip to New York and they start to get stuff set up and stuff starts to go into like pre-production. This is usually when Leak City starts to happen. Especially I think we only have like 2 weeks left to go before Toy Fair. So I'm expecting the leaks to start coming in now for sure. In terms of halls, which is I forgot something before
What'd
we
you
move into
forget?
halls. We do have one other piece of news.
We do.
We do. We have a sworn enemy now.
Oh yeah.
So I checking our Twitter account, I noticed that we had a really interesting mention from this podcast called the Reluctant Adult Podcast, which without any context, the end of the tweet said an update on our feud with Adventures in Collecting. And yeah, I listened to it. So we have a sworn enemy now. So they're another toy collecting / culture podcast, and they have designated us as their the podcast that they want to have beef with. So
So here it is.
challenge accepted. Do you have Dave? Do you have anything you'd like to say to the folks over at the Reluctant Adult Podcast?
Yes. Hello.
And I would like to say
Nice.
that you smell. That's my message. Reluctant Adult Podcast, you smell. That is all.
Yep, that's all I got.
All right.
It's getting real heated.
Yeah.
So, of course, go give them a listen. They name dropped us on their last episode. Last episode was great. They talk about American Gladiators and stuff. But just remember that when you're listening to them, they also smell. That's it.
Oh.
Burn. Sick burn.
Yeah.
In terms of hauls, I'm gonna make this super quick for me. I have only one thing to report. So I bought 2 Transformers since the last episode.
Which
Okay.
ones?
Not a thing that I would normally say, but I have it's a guilty pleasure. Granted, I love the Transformers cartoon. I love like the original Transformers movie. I I have a huge guilty pleasure in the Michael Bay Transformers movies.
Ugh.
Love them. I could watch them right now from start to finish, all of them, including the batshit crazy one with Anthony Hopkins, the one that just came out. Bumblebee is legit great though. Great movie.
I've heard that. I gotta check that out. I
Yeah.
heard it's actually very good.
I was in Walmart and I have always wanted an Optimus Prime from the films. And they had the one from Revenge of the Fallen, which is great because he's got the two like huge swords. But I just
Okay.
love the design of them, right? So I was like, oh, Optimus Prime, like that's great. Like I've always been looking for a Voyager class one, that's the slightly bigger one. And I was like, man, it would be awesome if I could get like Megatron from the original Transformers movie, like from the first Michael Bay one. And I literally picked up Optimus Prime, and right behind him was Megatron.
Okay.
And I didn't know that these were coming back out. They're part of the studio series. They're priced super fair. They were like, I want to say Walmart had them for like $20 a pop, and they're like 36 step changers. Like it took me like a half hour to figure
Whoa.
out how to make Optimus Prime into a big rig.
I was gonna ask that because they don't even look like they came from the vehicles in the movies by the time they're done transforming. So I was curious to see how they are able to pull that off in something that physically has to transform.
It's downright, Optimus Prime is downright beautiful. Like the way that thing transforms. And Megatron, he's so clunky. And the Megatron in the first film, turns into like a fighter jet.
Okay.
So when I was looking at him, I was like, man, there's like so many bumps and like lumps, and like he's so just like these big chunky pieces of plastic. He turns into a sleek fighter.
Really?
Yeah, unbelievable. He's much easier to transform than Optimus is, but like wild. Like I could not believe the ability with those. And I've had Bumblebee, the Camaro Bumblebee. But yeah, I'm so happy to have Optimus and Megatron now. That's all I've gotten.
I got a lot. It's like been a month.
You also
though,
had a
so-
trip, so I'm sure you splurged a little bit.
Well, we
Yeah.
could talk about that too.
Yeah. You're gonna
Um,
have to talk about that here.
So, all right, we'll talk about the toys. Well, we'll talk about the normal weekly purchase material.
Yeah, before we go to Batu.
So I got a pretty decent price on Elite 55 Neville, just to continue to round out the cruiserweight collection. And then at some point, we always talk about hey, there might be a case of this figure somewhere. Whether it's those closeout online stores or like a Big Lots or somewhere like that. So sure enough, a wholesaler had, I would think, like 20 Sensational Sherries from Elite 65, which was a Walmart exclusive that were online. And I was fortunate enough to grab one at $20. So it was like normal retail price, which was kind of crazy. You found me the Lashley and Lita Royal Rumbles.
Yep.
I found Macho King Randy Savage.
Oh yeah.
Bonesaw is ready.
which I'll talk about that in a moment.
They need to make that.
Oh,
That's a
Bonesaw?
figure we need in our lives.
Well, that's
I got you for
one
3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
you would get that in Marvel Legends, I'd imagine.
that would be fantastic.
Imagine.
And then I'm waiting to see another friend of ours, Mike, for The Rock.
Oh yeah, so we have this weekend, Super Bowl weekend, is our little toy show in Wayne, that they have every month. So I'm looking for some single Marvel Legends there, some Lucy's.
I mean, I'll be looking for my usual complement of stuff. And then, I found Roderick Strong Elite 73, which is a not easy figure to come by. Or actually, is he Elite 72? I believe he's 72. I might have wrote that down wrong. And then yesterday I found Lince Dorado and Andrade from Elite 74. Those, and then King Mabel from Elite 68. So the odd thing is we went from like bare shelves to slightly better stocked shelves to oddly stocked shelves. Like I walked into the Target near I believe that was in Riverdale, New Jersey yesterday to find freshly stocked Elite 68, which is the SummerSlam set. It's the SummerSlam series from this past SummerSlam. So we're talking July, August shelf time. And then walked into Walmart to find one case of Elite 74 minus the Goldberg, Natalia, and Jim the Anvil figure. But it was literally like the remnants of one case. And then, so 2 Finns, 2 AJs, 1 Lindsay, 1 Andrade. And then, found in the one Target in the Palisades Mall, like freshly stocked Royal Rumble and Elite, the series with Roderick Strong, which I believe is either 72 or 73. Yeah, I'm looking that up now. Yeah, it's 72. I was right. Or I was wrong on my notes. But yeah, like a freshly stocked Elite 72 and Royal Rumble series. So it's weird.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, like as somebody who doesn't collect the wrestlers, right? Like I know what I'm looking for, mainly because we have our little mutual list that we go off of. But I was honestly blown away today. To the point where I know you don't really collect the basics, but I stopped and sent you a picture of the WrestleMania basics that are out now. So
Yeah, for this coming WrestleMania.
the Shane McMahon figure in that. If you don't have a Shane yet and you don't feel like going back to find one, it's a great figure.
Mm.
Like and like the Becky Lynch figure is the same head that's on the Elite one. Like they're the same sculpts. It's just, you have that limited body articulation.
Yeah, you don't have the articulation, but it's the same scan.
Great looking figures.
Yeah, the Elite, the basics they've been doing a very good job of lately. Like some of the Rey Mysterios are really good. And I guess you can look at this at housekeeping too. There's some pretty good sales right now on Walmart. Like that new AJ Styles Finn Balor Elite 2-pack where they 2-sweeted for the first time. That was $10 off today. So you could get 2 Elites for $30.
Yeah, as a general rule of thumb, it's not a bad idea to hop on Walmart or even Amazon for that matter and just
Vince
search.
McMahon is like I think $13 right now.
It's crazy. Like I've been toying with the idea of getting the Carl Mordo Marvel Legends from the Doctor Strange wave.
Mm-hmm.
He's like $11.
You might as well, like,
because I don't have them, and that's and it falls into the MCU category. And for $11,
like Tugboat's $8. I just want to have something else to pick up in order to get.
Yeah, like a few months ago, I was able to get the vintage collection Chewbacca from A New Hope. That was part of that. Who else was in that wave? It was part of like that first like face scan wave. $13 figure. I got him for $6, and he looks great. Up there somewhere.
And then just other stuff I picked up. I was able to get my pre-orders for this current WWE Pop series. So it was Diesel, John Cena from this past WrestleMania. Naomi, Miz, and Mean Gene. And the Naomi is the highlight. Like, it's one of the best pops that they've made for a WWE figure. And then I got the Good Place wave. So Eleanor, Janet, Chidi, Michael, Jason, and Tahani in time for the series finale.
No forking way.
Yeah. Holy shirt balls.
I love that show.
And then, of course, on vacation, I did go to Disney.
Oh yes, wait. This is our first field report from Batu.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Galaxy's Edge.
And money.
And money. Galaxy's Edge is fantastic.
I hear.
Like
it's
it
immersive.
is. You walk in and you are not in Hollywood Studios anymore. You are in Batu.
I might cry.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cry.
Rise of the Resistance is fantastic. It's the best theme park ride of all time. Smuggler's Run was a lot of fun, but I will give one tip: your pilots need to be good.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently you can fuck it up.
Yes, your experience is based on how everybody does.
So I know what you picked up in Batu, but
I did.
What kind of merch did you get?
I did. Oh, I picked up a couple porgs.
Ugh.
Maddie, thanks you.
I got the magnetic shoulder porg. I also got one for Maddie, and I got the little porg that's like the Jyn Erso toy from Rogue One.
Yeah,
like little
it
stuffed.
looks like it look hand stitched, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I was like, I have to get this. The puppets, like they have the puppet shop. Those are all awesome. They make it's like crazy. If you can. Oh, I also got the porg mug from Oga's Cantina. You have to get a drink to get the porg mug, but I got the porg mug.
I want me some Yub Nub.
That
Ugh.
glass is also cool. The Ewok glass, like, it's awesome. But
What's the matter, Heather's boyfriend? You don't you got a
Uh,
problem with Yub Nub?
I don't like the cute shit. Miss me with the Ewoks. Miss me with the Porgs.
And I also was able to acquire some scrap metal that you can fashion into the weapon of the Jedi.
Mm.
It's a good thing they got all those crystals off of Ilum before they turned to Ilum into Starkiller Base.
Yeah. So it is
You hate to see it.
probably
You really
hands
do.
down one of the, if you're a Star Wars fan in any form or fashion and you have the ability to make a reservation while you are in Anaheim or Orlando to acquire the scrap metal needed to make the Jedi weapon, please do so, because it is well worth the money and the time that it takes to do that. The experience is outright fantastic. The lightsaber is off the charts cool. Like, it's right up there at, like, I would say, like, one of the Force effects.
Yeah. Having held it, being intimately familiar with the Black Series Force effects, and also some of the custom ones, like I have an Ultra Sabers apprentice, and it's got some heft to it. Like it
There's
feels
some
as
significant weight to
it feels it. If you have the Kylo Ren Force effects saber, the Black Series one, it's very akin to that in both weight and like overall handle circumference, I guess you could say. Like it is a thicker build, both yours and Christina's.
Yeah, it's definitely a quality item. You are 100% getting what you paid for. And it is just, I mean, it is, I wouldn't want to give anything away about the experience itself.
Yeah, please don't.
But you can see, you definitely want to do the research, or at least have an idea in mind of what it tells you on the website. So on the website, it tells you the 4 disciplines of which you can choose from.
Okay.
So I did the elemental nature one with the pieces that I did. Just from the second you walk into Batu, though, it is unreal. And everything is in that land. So, like, you are being spoken to by cast members as if this is happening.
Yep. Yeah, it's so for those of you that don't know, Batu is actually not only the first of its kind as being a Star Wars fully immersive Star Wars theme park experience. It's also canon, so it is a very specific part of the story when you're there, and the things that you experience there on whatever length loop they have are canon events. So like there are characters that you won't see there because they're not there at that time. And there are characters you will see there because they are there at
Yeah.
that time.
And how you interact with them and how they interact with you is based on what you do. So, you can choose to follow directions or you can choose not to. It's up to you. And that's about the extent of what I'll say about it. But just know, like, if you're a Star Wars fan, it is a place where you need to spend time. And you're just gonna, like, find something new every time and just be like it's brand new all over again.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're planning we have a family vacation planned for May, and I can't wait.
It's funny. I was watching on Disney Plus, which I steal from my girlfriend Heather. I was watching the Imagineering documentary, and when it got to Star Wars and everything on Batu, and I was like, well, this was nice, and I shut it off because everything was so good. But I was like, no, I'm going in fresh.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, you have
I
to.
stopped watching the
Yeah.
last 10 minutes of Imagineering Story.
And if you can avoid commercials for it, because there is a moment in The Rise of Resistance that, like, even if you're on Disney's website, like, immediately scroll below the banner because there is a moment in the ride that I confirmed with my brother here that happens in the ride that they show in that, and I'm a little upset that I saw it.
And I had never seen it, so I'm like, wait a minute, they showed that?
Yeah. So when that was his reaction to it, my heart sank a little bit. But yeah, if you can, I watched it for you. Let's put it that way. You don't need to see it. Yeah. So as we said, lots of news, lots of haul things.
This is already our longest episode ever.
Yeah, we're
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. Catch us next.
we're already at the 35-minute mark, and we haven't even dealt. We haven't
even dealt with you yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
Wow, thanks.
I was gonna say we didn't even dive into the main topic yet, but sure, we haven't dealt with this guy.
And
so-
you have one other thing you want to do before we do
That's
that.
true.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go back to our game. So for those of you who are listening for the first time, we have a game called Name That Toy, where Dave and I give each other 5 hints at a specific toy line, and the hints get more narrow as we go on. And if in this case today, I'll be reading the hints. If I can stump my brother, I get a point, and he doesn't. And if he can't get it, or in this case we have Heather's boyfriend is playing along with us too.
Yeah.
If he can't get it, we will kick it out to you on Instagram, and maybe we have something fun to give you. I have some really cool buttons from exclusive buttons from when they reopened the Toys R Us here in New Jersey. We'll figure out something fun to do with you. But since we're already just chewing up time here, I'm gonna go ahead and start the music, and we're gonna play Name
music.
That Toy. Yeah, the music plays in the background. I put it in post. It's always
No, I hear it. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh.
Hey, listen to that music.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
listen to our show.
Great. I'm glad I made this one hard for you, Dave. All right. So, Name That Toy. Based on this short-lived but well-loved Mattel toy line, DIC Productions produced a cartoon that
Yeah.
ran from 1994 through 1997.
One more time, please.
Based on this short-lived but well-loved Mattel toy line, DIC Productions produced a cartoon that ran from 1994 through 1997.
Okay, keep going.
Agreed. Next foot.
Over the course of 6 series or waves, the line featured 34 figures ending with the quote-unquote Space Force wave in 1996.
Oh, Trump action figures.
Yes. Got it. No. Oh, I gotta... Damn it. I'm making so much work for myself.
Yeah, you're doing it.
It's not like I've known him since I was in kindergarten or anything.
Is it Cops?
Is it what?
Cops?
No. Alright, I'm gonna keep going. These anthropomorphic characters' backstory involve one Dr. Paradigm manipulating his
Paradigm?
Paradigm.
Paradigm.
I
Can you
like how we both
paradig
did
it?
that at the same time in the same, like,
Ah, he was so confident too.
Yeah, alright, we're going back.
that's
Do not edit
season
that
2.
out. Please do not edit that
No,
out.
that's
Edit what out? Alright. So, Paradigm. It's staying in, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Oh, fuck you guys. Dr. Paradigm. No, I can't read.
Paradigm.
Dr. Paradigm manipulating his diabolical gene slammer to create these anthropomorphic characters. The machine was later turned on him to create the main villain, Dr. Paranoid.
That's not just paranoid, is it?
No, Dr. Paranoid.
Like piranha, but noid.
Correct.
Okay.
Because remember, we have anthropomorphic heroes here, so it would make sense that the villain, when the machine is turned on him.
And you said me and you played with these.
Yeah,
growing
100%. 100%.
Oh my god, I'm a failure.
This next one might.
Is it Street Sharks?
Son of a bitch!
Oh my god.
I'm actually mad that you got that.
Well done. That was only, what, 3 clues? That's impressive.
Well, now I'm going to read the last 2.
Yeah, let's hear them. Sorry,
Street
listeners, you don't get
Sharks?
shit
I'm so
today. You
mad.
don't get
I
shit
am
today.
so. Because that was so, like, you were not. Like, you never played with.
No, I didn't.
My personal favorite character, Blades, encapsulated the 90s love affair with rollerblading,
Yeah.
sporting a ripping pair of rollerblades, giving him his namesake. That was the next one.
That would have helped me.
While the name of the line focuses on a specific aquatic life
I remember
form,
the cartoon.
the show featured a few different species, as well as an eventual spinoff into dinosaurs. Fuck you, it was Street Sharks.
I was a big fan of the Hammerhead one. Big
Yeah,
fan.
they
It
were
was
great
cool.
figures.
Yeah.
They were really great
They
figures.
really
looked
were.
cool.
Yeah.
And they were packaged cool too. Like I can't.
I was like, and you knew when I said it isn't, you were like, he's got this.
Oh,
My-
man.
My voice may not be conveying it, but my face is just pure rage right
It is.
now.
Yeah, I can confirm.
Because like so the idea was we both tested the waters, so that way like we knew the game would work. So that way we each have a point. Now that I have clearly tried to challenge Dave, he's gonna fucking beat me the next time we do this.
Yeah, I have a couple ideas.
He's gonna
I've
hit me with like this toy line was made out of sheet metal and debuted in 1942. That's what's gonna happen to me next. I'm
I
begging.
can
Oh, Erector
confirm that
sets.
won't. But
All right,
Yeah.
so Street Shark. So
the ride Soren was based off of this toy.
So Dave gets another point, and you, the listener, get a chance at nothing. So you could thank Dave for
You
that.
get to think about Street Sharks.
Yeah.
I can't wait to post pictures of Street Shark toys. That's something I am actually excited about. They're so cool.
I feel like Yuma probably has some Street Sharks.
yeah, I feel like he'd be a big.
Actually, I'm gonna.
You gonna text them?
Yeah.
Send pics. Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, pics of Street Sharks. All right, so as I mentioned at the top of the show, our main episode today, or main topic of the episode today, and the reason why Heather's boyfriend has joined us is to talk about
Graciously has joined you.
graciously joined us is
Even
to
though I
talk
listen
about
every episode.
is to talk about Toys to Life. So without any kind of context, I'm just gonna kick it on over to you. What are Toys to Life toys?
Well, can I give context on me? People don't know who the hell I am besides I'm dating Heather. They don't know that me and you have known each other for like 27 years.
Accurate.
Um,
Yes, we've been friends since kindergarten.
so my name is Heather's boyfriend, aka Redacted, aka which I'm sure will be edited out in post.
Yes.
I grew up with Erik, and obviously I know Dave through that as well. Erik and I have been inseparable for nearly 3 decades.
It's
and,
almost disgusting.
It is. I hate it. But I've been listening to the podcast ever since it debuted, and I'm really happy for the success and everything that they have found, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. And it's so cool to do this because when we hang out, it's just kind of this, but now the microphones are on and we can share it with the world, and I think it's so cool. But anyway, Toys to Life. So I have a little bit of the history on it and kind of where it is now, and a bit of everything in between. Actually, first, let me kind of tell you my collecting style. I don't collect sets of things. I kind of say, ooh, I like that, or I like this character, and I get that. So I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I have a soft spot for Han Solo and Plo Koon and Darth Maul, so I'm going to buy their figures in every form and not much else. And that's kind of how I thought it would be with my Toys to Life figures that I do have. But let me start.
I do remember when you got that Plo Koon pop.
I do. I got the pop because I asked Dave. Dave was like, "Oh, it's a Walgreens exclusive," and I was like, that's not good." So that ended up
Generally, that is correct. It is
Yeah.
not.
that ended up being a eBay exclusive to me. But no, I got it for a good deal. I didn't pay much more than retail if I even did.
And you got that super cool Plo Koon lightsaber.
Yes,
for,
that's
for
true.
Christmas.
That would probably be my haul. Not that any of you people know who I am or what I have. But over Christmas, I was gifted an Ultra Saber from the lovely Heather, my girlfriend, my namesake. And so it's the classic Plo Koon hilt. If you've seen Clone Wars, if you've seen the prequel trilogy, you've seen it. It's kind of a basic looking hilt, but when you ignite it, it's his Legends orange yellowy blade, which is really cool. My love for Plo Koon comes from the Sega Dreamcast game Jedi Power Battles, which me and Eric played when it came out, and Plo Koon was always the one who I picked because he could use Electric Judgment, the Jedi Force Lightning. So that was really cool, and I picked him, and I've been in love ever since.
Yeah,
But
the only reason he had a yellow lightsaber was because everyone else had blue, green,
Yeah.
like the purple.
Yeah, Mace Windu actually had a blue one because it was before
Oh, yeah, that's right,
Attack
that's
of the
right.
Clones.
Yeah.
The only one who had a purple one was Ki-Adi-Mundi, who was
That's
a unlockable character. But it's a great game. It's not a good game, but it's fun. It's such a product of the era, but it's really a fun playthrough with a friend. It's not a great game. It's infuriating, but it was fun to us then. I haven't played it since.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Toys to Life. So a lot of people will know some of the later iterations of this technology. It essentially uses NFC technology, near field communication technology. And what's cool about that, as opposed to like a QR code, is you're able to read and write to this chip, to this technology. So I'll go into that a little later on. But the year is 2007, and a game called UB Funkies by Mattel is released. And this is the first instance of us seeing this NFC technology in a Toys to Life game. Essentially, the content would be unlocked through these figures with these chips inside. And it didn't do much. It wasn't well received.
I don't even remember it.
No, I've never heard of it. In my research for this, which consisted of me being like, oh shit, I'm doing that podcast and I better look up what Toys to Life are.
Accurate.
Revealed that, and they basically said that they're like, it was popularized by some of the later iterations of it, but this was the first real instance of it, and that lasted from 2007 to 2010, and kind of fell off. They did keep it updated for about 3 years. There was consistent updates, but 2011 is when it kind of came into the mainstream with Skylanders.
Oh yeah, those I remember.
I now all of a sudden was like, okay, I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I never knew of it as the phrase "Toys to Life."
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so essentially Skylanders took this Toys to Life concept where the game and the content and the characters are unlocked through these collectible figures. So essentially, it's like DLC that you're getting a physical item for, and it's used to unlock content throughout the game, which is a great concept because you're locking the content behind these nice figures, these nice sculpted figures. They didn't feel cheap; they were really nice, but you're paying a premium for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of blew up, and Skylanders released a game I think every year for about 6 years. Until
shit.
Yeah, it's like it was incredible. You don't realize until I didn't really realize how much was out there until, like you said, Toys R Us was closing, and you see all of the extras kind of being liquidated.
Well, that's exactly what I
pennies.
was gonna say. Because I never got into Skylanders, but during the liquidation of Toys R Us, I bought the
Disney Infinity.
Don't skip ahead. I was getting to that.
All right.
Yeah, because there's another big one too.
Yeah, so Disney Infinity followed suit in 2013. You've seen it. It's kind of the same, where you have like a sandbox game, and the characters in the game are populated in the game by the statues, by these figures.
It was so cool. Like
It was so cool.
Like they made Korra, they made Sam Flynn, they
Yep.
made
Yeah, they had like I had it. I still have it actually. Of course, me being a Star Wars collector, I bought when they were all like pennies.
Yeah.
I bought all the Star Wars ones I can get my hands on. I actually how I got the game was with the base that came with Anakin and Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm. They're very stylized figures. They're cool figures. There wasn't a lot else out there that looked like them, so
No.
they were They were cool. I looked at the Han and I was eyeballing the Han.
It's
when,
like everybody was in the style of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
It was kind of that, like, it looked like they took the CGI character and plopped it on a little stand and sold it for $13.
But it was cool because with the Disney Infinity, the base actually had 3 spots on it.
Yeah.
So you had a spot for 2 figures, so that way you could have 2 players.
And like the power up.
The third spot was actually how you unlocked like a world.
Mm-hmm.
So like for like the Star Wars one, if you put, I think the one of them is like a Death Star and the other one looks like a Republic ship. So if you put the Republic ship on when you're in like the Disney Infinity hub, it gives you access to like the Clone Wars world. Whereas like the Death Star one gives you access to like Tatooine and like kind of like the original trilogy content.
Okay.
And then they had a Finn and Rey 2-pack that came with the Force Awakens stuff.
Yeah. Like, I know there was ones that, like, if it was a single figure, it was only, like, a side quest, or you could use that figure. But
Yeah.
there were also power-up coins.
Yeah, the power-up ones, it's exactly that. Like, it just gave you
More ability.
a multiplayer, a multiplier.
I remember playing the Guardians of the Galaxy one, and that was awesome.
Well, yeah, because Disney Infinity, that was after the acquisition of Star Wars. It was after the
Yep.
acquisition of Marvel.
So they had plenty of
I
properties
feel like
out there.
the game came first.
So it's 20. I don't have the month in 2013.
It's close.
yeah.
Maybe it might have been after, but it's.
I do think the game, because the game had waves.
Yeah,
additions,
but I mean,
like
when-
you would get Disney Infinity 3.0.
Yeah,
Because 3.0 was PS4,
Yep.
2.0 was PS3, and then PS2. Or
Yep.
maybe the early PS3 was the original.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
believe
think it was
so.
ever on PS2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was early PS3.
it was definitely on the Wii.
Yep.
They had a
It's
Wii
on the
version.
Wii. It was multi-platform, so they
Yeah.
were selling
It was
a
everywhere.
ton of these.
Yeah, I had it for the X-Bone.
Still cracks me up, Xbox's naming conventions, but that's a whole nother episode.
Why did you throw your notes?
Oh, I didn't do it on purpose.
I threw it on the ground.
It's written on a penguin, because my girlfriend likes penguins, and my mom found these in our house and gave me a notepad that looks like penguins.
There you go.
Huh.
So, in the same year as Disney Infinity, Nintendo kind of tested the market. They didn't fully go in on what would later be called Amiibo. They released a game on the short-lived Wii U console.
The serving tray.
Yeah, it's another.
It looks like a tray you would put hors d'oeuvres on.
You want to talk about bad naming conventions? People didn't realize it was a new system. They're like, "Oh, I have a Wii. I don't need a little gamepad for it. I already have a TV."
Well, it's because it used the same controllers, right?
Yeah, use all the Wii remotes.
Except for that
just...
big gamepad, like that
Well,
big
Yeah,
tray.
well, people thought that was an accessory. People thought that was a peripheral for the original Wii. They didn't realize this is a brand new system.
I just thought it was the largest controller I've ever seen.
It is. It's heavy. The battery life sucks.
I have played every Nintendo console. I have never touched a Wii U.
Well, because Eric
It
likes to wait
literally
for the
looks
Zelda.
like the size of like your record player
Yeah.
that's on your desk.
They
It's
said
about the size. It's like a chunky Switch. It's like if
Yeah.
the Switch was thick.
thick boy.
Thick. But yeah, it was kind of like their stopgap before the Switch. Like, we know what we want to do. We're just not technologically there yet. So we're going to put out this kind of stopgap hybrid-ish console that doesn't have full portability. And then obviously they've kind of translated that into the Switch, which has been, such a huge success and has kind of made people forget about the Wii U altogether. But on the Wii U, there was a game called Pokemon Rumble U. And it was like literally Pokemon toys. That was the game. There were toys in the game.
Oh.
So you would scan with the gamepad, with the Wii U gamepad. There was an NFC reader in the controller. So before that, you had to have a hub for Skylanders, for Disney Infinity, even for Lego Dimensions, which comes out in 2015.
which
you had
was
a hub.
awesome too.
Yeah, very cool concept. I'll get into that a little bit. But they came with a separate hub that you would have to plug into the system or plug into the controller, however it was interfaced. With the Wii U and later with the Switch, it's built into the controllers, which was a big upgrade because you didn't need an extra peripheral, so they were able to keep the price down. You had it built into your console. Now, when the Wii U launched, there was no support for it, but it was eventually coming down the road. That's something they build They were like NFC technology. Everyone was like, I don't know what that is. And essentially, it's just you can read and write to it. You can read the chip onto your system, and then save data back to the chip. At its simplest definition. So Pokemon Rumble U, it had every Pokemon up to that point. It was like almost 700 Pokemon, and not all of them had a figure. It was the big ones: your Pikachus, your Eevees, your Mewtwo's, Bulbasaur, Jigglypuff.
There are more than 7. You know what? We're gonna table that. I'm shaking my head.
That's a whole nother episode, folks.
That's a lot of all to catch.
So then that was 2013. In 2014, Nintendo dives in head first with Amiibo, and that is where I joined in. So Amiibo were really billed with the launch of Smash Bros. For Wii U. And no one really knew what they were. They were like, is it just a high-level computer? What is it? What do you get from this? And I was like, you know what? I'm not into toys to life. I don't think this is going to go anywhere for me. But I love Fox and Cloud. It's a really cool sculpt of a figure. There's so many details. His blaster is so detailed. His reflector is so detailed. You know, his uniform, his boots, everything had so many fine little details. And it really, when I unboxed it, I was just like, this could be a problem. I might have to buy several of these. And so essentially, Nintendo's been really good with their support, which is why I think that the Amiibo line is still going on, whereas spoiler alert, Skylanders, Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions, they've all gone under. They've all discontinued their lines. But Nintendo has so many iconic characters, even if you don't care what they're unlocking. The figure is such a nice size. They're probably about 2.5, 3 inches high, depending on who you get.
Yep.
And they're nice to display, even if you never utilize them for what they're meant for. Because the NFC chip, I have one here. It's a small, it's almost like a sheet of paper. And you just scan it onto your controller, and that's it. You don't need the figure. The figure is just a plus for, to be able to sell it, because selling a little sticker is hard to do. But I did that on all the Zelda figures for Breath of the Wild, because I was like, your man's not made of money here. And most of them are very hard to find. So I found someone who's selling little Amiibo cards, and you can check that out, Dave.
Yeah, Heather's boyfriend has taken out of his Switch case what effectively looks like a Topps baseball card or
It's like a baseball card sleeve.
Yeah. It's about the size of a quarter, the actual chip.
And I can actually speak to the Zelda ones, because that's my only real experience with the Amiibos. I didn't have the Nintendo DS, or the 3DS, which had an NFC chip reader built into it, right?
Original 3DS didn't. You had to buy a little hub.
Oh, the XL.
The new 3DS did. It had right on the bottom screen. You could just scan them in like that, which is really cool.
So I had Smash Bros for that. But I had a 2DS, so I didn't get to use any Amiibos with it. But when I got the Switch, of course, the first game that I got with it was Breath of the Wild, and I found out that there was basically a way that if you scanned an Amiibo once a day on it, you would get a treasure chest would drop from the sky and would have kind of rarer items in it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there were certain Amiibos that if you had them, you could actually get articles of clothing.
There were. So there were special costumes kind of locked behind these Amiibos, which is why I really wanted to get them. So I'm a completionist. When I play a game and I'm really into it, like I was with Breath of the Wild, I want to experience every inch of that game. I want to experience everything the developers put in that game, and that involved scanning Amiibos way too much for way too long to get gear that is really kind of superficial. Like, it really doesn't offer you any stat boost or anything. It's not game breaking. It's just, hey, you scan the Ocarina of Time link, you get his outfit from that, and it looks like it, and it's rendered in the Breath of the Wild engine. It's really cool. Like, you get the Twilight Princess outfit with the chainmail. It's nice looking. It's really, I was like, I gotta have that. So that's why I bought all the chips on eBay. But different games had different content they would unlock. For example, like Mario Kart 8 would grant specific Amiibos would grant you with costumes. So a Mario Amiibo gives you a Mario themed outfit, a Luigi themed outfit, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then something like Breath of the Wild would give you items at random, or it would have, specific items for specific Amiibos. Whereas Smash is probably the fullest implementation of it. that figure, my Fox McCloud is scanned into the game as a Fox McCloud fighter. And he starts at level 1, and he can go all the way up to level 50. And as you fight against him, as he fights, he learns to adapt, which is really cool. Because if you just set the computer to level 9, they're tough, but there's a cap. With Amiibos, they the AI learns and constantly develops new strategies, and it's really cool to see, because you could fight it at level 1 and it's terrible. By level 20 he might be able to kill you. By level 50 you're not going to win. So I would host like Amiibo tournaments, and I'm up to over 40 Amiibos. I don't know the plural. I think it's just
Amiibo.
I counted right before I drove here.
I was gonna say what's the current count at? So we're at 40.
Not counting just the cards that I bought, which do count, but I really only use them for Zelda. I have like 42 actual figures. Some of them are really cool. My coolest one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your favorite Amiibo?
So I have my favorites. Like for my favorite characters, I'm holding King K. Rool, and he is majestic.
It is awesome.
It's a cool figure.
Yeah,
thick boy,
shiny gold belly.
Shiny gold belly. He's got the crown. He's got a beautiful cape. I love my King DDD. King DDD has the heft of like a baseball. I should have brought that. Like he's a girthy boy.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of plastic there, because they are. So looking at it, again, they look like they are, like Tyler said, like 2.5, 3 inches tall, but they're all to scale. So like if you like, King K. Rool is appropriately sized. So like if you had a Diddy Amiibo that was standing next to him, Diddy would be the appropriate size to King K. Rool. And
so he's like half his size.
Yeah. And they have like I know when Breath of the Wild came out, they had a set that was the help me out, the ancient
oh my god, what are they called?
Well, I can't think of it. The Sentinel?
The
Not a Sentinel.
Guardian?
Guardians, thank you. Yeah, and like it was like Link and
Yeah,
a Guardian, and the Guardian's like massive.
He's gigantic. So essentially, they all have the same base. It's a little base. It's probably, the diameter is probably like 1.5 inches, and that's where the chip is stored. Everything else on top, there's nothing in there. There's no guts in there. The chip is in the base. If you have a base, you're good. You don't need the character on top, like I said before. But I'm not going to collect a bunch of chips and display. Like they're there to be displayed, and then the content, a lot of it is kind of secondary for me anyway. Some people may really enjoy the content pulled out. It hasn't been, like I said, a lot of it's kind of superficial. I think Smash is probably the best utilization, because you can save it, you can constantly upgrade it, you can constantly fight him. And
so like in Smash Brothers, you have normal Fox, who's part of the game.
Yep.
And then you have Amiibo Fox.
So Amiibo Fox is essentially, instead of turning on a computer player, you get a figure player.
Okay.
So if you're fighting a level 1, he's a chump. You're going to kill him easily. Once he gets up to level 50, he's going to be stronger than any level 9 computer.
So is it like Silly Putty in the sense that you can make that whoever, or you have to have the figure?
So you have to have the figure.
But it's only one figure player?
Yes.
Yeah.
So essentially, if you buy a Mario, you don't get to select, Luigi or Bowser. It's a Mario.
Yeah,
so if you have Mario and Fox, you can switch between the two?
You can enter, I think it has support up to 8 players at a time. So you could have 8 Amiibo in there just duking it out, which I did a lot. We did, like I said, I would do tournaments with my former roommate, Wes. And, we play some drinking games. We would pick 2 Amiibo, and bet on them. I was like, my Ness is really good. I bet you a 6-second chug that Ness is going to win.
By the way, Wes's name is not being believed.
Yeah, we're not believing Wes's name.
I'll make him listen to it. And we would do, we're as degenerates did, we would bet on Amiibo and drink, of course, as you do. Totally what they were designed for.
See, my favorite Amiibo
like
is
the
actually
Running Man.
My favorite Amiibo is actually a cereal box.
Yeah. So they, like I said, since it's a thin, almost paper thin chip, Super Mario Odyssey cereal had a built-in Amiibo. It had a built-in NFC chip. And if you were fortunate enough to find the cereal, like Eric and I both were, you could scan it into the Super Mario Odyssey game.
It was just cereal that was at ShopRite, or
yeah. So they had in the cereal aisle, and part of the cereal box had an embedded NFC chip in it.
So what I did is I cut out the chip and put it in like a card sleeve to preserve it. But it acts like any other amiibo would. It's.
Were there people who were just ripping through boxes and
I
not
did.
buying cereal?
Unfortunately, I did see that, which was disappointing.
It's like the figure swap of
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a
Cereal
$3
world.
box of cereal.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Seriously, like and the cereal wasn't bad. It was like a Lucky Charms kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it was a fun tie-in. It was a fun novelty, and the fact that you could scan it onto
So it's
your
basically
Switch.
like Bootios.
Yeah, it was your typical like when I think it was General Mills did it, but like when General Mills has like the frozen cereal or the Star Wars cereal, it's like vanilla flavored, crispy
It's
pieces
sugar
of
oats
marshmallows.
with marshmallows.
Yeah, that was
Like-
it. Was so basically like when the New Day cereal came out, it was Lucky Charms, but
Yeah.
with
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
New Day pieces.
So what I thought would just be like, oh, I'll get Fox, I'll get whatever character I like. The fact that we had so much fun playing with them, and they were really nice to display, and there was quality put into it. There was a little dip from when they were revealed. Obviously, the initial sculpt looks so great, and then you put it into mass production, and it dips a little, but it's still a high quality figure. They started at about like $13. I think they're up to around 15 or so now. But if I'll still pick one up if I see one I like. I just bought an Ivysaur, and he's so cute, and I love
I
him.
saw those at Walmart. Yeah.
Like, and I put them up in my display in my house, and games do come out that still support it. So Nintendo has really kind of put an emphasis on continued support, where some of these other companies just weren't able to do that, which kind of leads me to Lego Dimensions, which is a really cool concept as well. It was the same concept with little Lego minifigures.
I got my girlfriend Lego Dimensions. I thought it was like the greatest thing
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah, and the
So
fact
you
that
know more
they-
about Toys to Life than you thought.
I did.
and
Yeah.
and the fact that they got all those IPs, and I mean, well, Lego already has the relationships, but like the fact that like I
The
just
only
remember the
thing that wasn't
commercials.
in it was Disney.
Right,
Yeah, but like
right.
The
Everything
Simpsons,
else.
Back to the Future, Doctor Who.
Ghostbusters.
They had Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yeah,
who's already a video game character, as a Lego minifigure in a Lego game. Toys to Life.
it doesn't get any more meta than that.
It was
It
crazy.
Yeah, they had Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They had like Harry Potter. They had
Yep.
all. It was
It was
wild.
It was and like the thing is like so to the point with with the amiibo. So I have one physical amiibo, and it's Twilight Princess Zelda, which has now become Maddie's toy. Like she plays with she plays with that. She plays with a lot of the Disney Infinity ones too. I think I had like Mulan and Minnie Mouse and
Yep.
stuff. But to that point, there's no articulation on these things. They are statues, but the amiibo ones are built really well. I mean, they stand up to like play by a toddler. Like Zelda,
Zelda's delicate. Zelda's small and
Yeah.
has thin arms,
and she hangs, man.
Yeah.
Like she can hang with all the other toys. But to the point of the Lego one, I mean, talk about bang for your buck. I mean, you're getting real Lego minifigures.
Yeah, proper
Fully
minifigs.
functional, yeah.
and
yeah.
sometimes even vehicles. Weren't there some vehicles?
I'm not
Smaller.
sure,
There
yeah.
were like. So they're not system vehicles like the Doc Brown wasn't going in the DeLorean.
No,
But
no.
it was like a little minifig. Think of like the Advent calendar,
Yeah.
like the Star Wars Advent calendar, where it comes with the little ship that's maybe 20 pieces.
Yep.
It's that.
Yeah, but those were killer. Like I thought that was such a great concept. I never got to play the game, but
Have you ever played any of the Lego games?
yeah,
It's a Lego game.
yeah. That's what I assumed. That's what I assumed.
So that was one of the criticisms, excuse me, of it, was that the games, especially like the Skylanders, the Disney Infinity, the Lego more so was more of, like you said, more of a Lego game. So that those are very solid. But the Skylanders and the Disney Infinity, there wasn't a lot of heft there. There wasn't a lot of bulk to the game. It was really just a vehicle to sell the figures, which wasn't going to last forever, and it didn't. And kind of shortly after Lego Dimensions, came out, that was kind of the burst of the Toys to Life bubble. And there's still some here and there. Nintendo's still chugging away with amiibos because Nintendo, their properties are just, their fans are gonna eat that up. Their fans are just voracious. Like if they put out, another Luigi amiibo, I'm gonna buy that because I like Luigi. I'm gonna buy Fox. I'm gonna buy, whichever characters I like because they are nice figures, and I know I'm gonna get a little something more as well.
Do they have a Luigi with the vacuum?
They don't. They didn't do Luigi's Mansion 3. The support is starting to fall off a little, where Smash, literally every character in Smash Ultimate has an amiibo.
I gotta look for a Cloud one then.
Which is nuts. So Cloud is confirmed. I don't know if he's out yet. He may be.
Do they? So, in the there's always like a one chase figure per WWE series, or I don't know if there's any alternates for Marvel Legends. I don't think there are. But
No.
is there any kind of there'll be a short pack, or
Yes.
there'll be a chase?
So that brings me probably to my favorite, not my favorite amiibo, but my rarest is a US Meta Knight. Now, Meta Knight I only saw one release. A lot of these have kind of sold out, and they weren't well stocked and well supplied when they first came out. Characters like Marth, like Wii Fit Trainer, these kind of niche characters. Mario, they're sending millions.
Wii Fit Trainer.
I almost started.
Yeah, like Mario, they're sending millions. Link, they're sending millions.
That's a great deep cut
like
character.
like Wii Fit Trainer. You're not really flocking to the stores to get a Wii Fit amiibo. Like, it's just not. And they thought that, but then people wanted the whole set, and it became increasingly more rare. And on the secondary market, people are selling these it's a $13 figure, maybe 15 max if you buy it, out of Toys R Us, where it was a little bit higher. They're selling them online 50, 60, 80, $100.
No shit.
Now, they did do limited edition ones. They would have like a gold Mario, a silver Mario.
Now, was that one you could just find in the store? And if you got that, is it like...
Yeah, they were all out for, they were all available through retail. There wasn't...
Yeah, I remember the 8-bit Mario jumping out of the pipe.
Yep. Yeah, they had him in both the classic colors and the current modern colors. So they did make alternates.
Did they have ones for Nintendo New York exclusive stuff?
No, they didn't do a lot of that. They did some retailer exclusives. Like Target would have exclusives. I think Jigglypuff and maybe Rosalina were Target exclusives. They would have, Walmart exclusives, stuff like that. But they were usually fairly well stocked. I think Falco was a Best Buy exclusive. But they were usually pretty easy to find. It was just that initial wave. And the second wave, they kind of didn't realize, I guess, what they had on their hands. So, yeah, they could accommodate the Mario demand and the Link demand, but everyone else was kind of hard to find. And a lot of them did get re-released, but Meta Knight has never been re-released. I've never seen a second kind of influx of Meta Knight. So I paid a little more for him, but it's such a cool figure. He's got the wings and the sword and everything. So I didn't mind. It's probably the rarest one I have. But yeah, they dealt with that initially. It's like when the Wii initially came out. They didn't realize everyone and their mother literally was going to be playing this thing, and they couldn't keep them in stock. And that's kind of how it was for Amiibo. Now, I don't know if that was the result of people really wanting them for their collection, or that they realized it was a lucrative secondary market, but a lot of people were upset, and they've done a better job since then, and the demand has kind of dipped. But it was really difficult to find a lot of these kind of smaller figures, like your Wii Fit Trainers, like your Marths, your Fire Emblem characters, your kind of...
Well, if you want any Animal Crossing ones, just go to Five Below.
Oh my God, they're pennies. Because that was, and that was one of the misguided kind of attempts. They put out an Animal Crossing party game, but in order to play, you had to have an Animal Crossing amiibo. And if your friend wanted to play, you had to have one for them. So you couldn't just have one and play the game, or have none and play the game. It was literally unplayable without these amiibo. And it wasn't a good game. And there was a lot of backlash. If you go to a GameStop, or they still have them, they're trying to get rid of them. They're like pennies. They're $1. They're they cannot get rid of these. And that's kind of what led to the downfall of the Toys to Life phenomenon. It was kind of the oversaturation. Every company was putting out a Toys to Life line and not supporting it with good content. It was
shovelware.
It was shovelware. It was a money grab. It was saying, you want to play our game, you got to buy the figures. And if you just want to play with this one character, that's fine. But if you want to play with anyone else, you got to buy them too. And, a lot of them sit and collect dust now, myself included. I still like looking at them, and I still seldomly use them. But there was a recent one called Starlink, and that was out on the Switch. I think it was out on other platforms as well. But on the Switch, once again, my boy, Fox McCloud, Star Fox himself, was bundled. And this was like a space shooter kind of game. And the gimmick here was...
Is it the same Fox, or is it a...
It's a different one because
Okay.
these are actually the ships are the figure that you're scanning in as opposed to the fighter.
Okay.
So you would get an R-wing. You would get, these
Badass.
other. Yeah, it was so cool. But here's the thing: I picked it up from Best Buy a couple months ago for $10. You get the full game and Fox and his ship and a bunch of attachments for $10 because they had so many of these and they couldn't get rid of them because the whole game, in order to unlock these characters, you had to have the physical, toy.
Yeah.
And
Well, you toe that line, right? So like your first dip into the water is you make a really great game that utilizes some free aspects, right?
Yeah.
So like you buy a couple amiibos and it's like, oh, you get the the cool bonuses. Then they up it where it's like, all right, now you're going to use the amiibo and your amiibo is the DLC. You're not paying for DLC, you're paying for the amiibo.
Mhm.
And then, it's just kind of like, I hate to say it as much as I love Nintendo, but like, that greed comes in where it's like
Yeah.
now you have to buy the game, which is probably $50-$60 a pop
Mhm.
when it comes out new. Plus, you need these amiibos.
Absolutely.
And that's one way to burst the bubble of success.
Yeah, it was just the oversaturation, a Skylanders game every year with not much new content, slightly tweaked characters and same thing with Disney. It's like you're kind of getting the same game. It's just you might get a new character here and there, but a lot of it's kind of recycled content and people were not going to take it anymore. They were like, these are too expensive for us to be doing this
Yep.
every single time. The
Yep.
games aren't that good. Like,
And like with the Disney Infinity game, like so full disclosure, like I bought all of the Star Wars figures because they
Yeah.
were super cheap and they looked great, and they actually went on to inspire the Disney Store's toy box line.
Right.
So like
Yeah.
their toy box figures are based off of the way that the Disney Infinity figures
Infinity.
looked
I
because
did
they
notice
looked
that,
great.
Yeah.
But
And the Infinity, like the hub was called a toy box.
Yep. But the thing that sucked was like they did this great job creating frankly a gorgeous sandbox world. So like when you're in Tatooine and you're on, in Mos Eisley, it's awesome. It looks great. You can go into like all the different buildings. But then like you finish Mos Eisley and you have like the dumb little like repetitive tasks you have to do. Go help this guy, go collect this,
Fetch quests.
yeah, get a number of these. And then you're like, okay, and then you get to Hoth and it's like
Do the same shit.
do the same shit again. So like,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
cool. I'm on Echo Base. Like, when do I get to fight some AT-ATs?
I'm
like,
moving this box across the floor.
and like I said, full disclosure, I never finished it. Like,
Yeah.
it got to the point where like the tedium was just so rough, and like, you have characters that you clearly favor. So like, your Han Solos, your Princess Leia's, when they die in that game, like when they run out of life, you have to put another player down to play as that character, and you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can
Mhm.
put Han back on. And it's like, oh well, now my like level 15 Han is dead, and I got to use this level 1, I don't even remember, like C-3PO.
Yeah, I'll just have to go buy more, which is what they thought. But people, people got tired of it. It's
Yep.
like you're paying for a game that should already be complete. And I think that's kind of why Nintendo's still been able to continue with it because they make a full game. They're going to make a full game. They're not going to block, aside from Animal Crossing, which is just a blip on the radar. But they're making a full game. And Nintendo, their first party games are usually of such quality that you're gonna buy it, and then this is a nice little accent piece to it, but you're getting a full game. Like nothing critical to the story is locked behind an amiibo.
Like
It's
you're
usually
getting
just-
those because you want them, not because you need them.
Exactly. You don't feel like they're forcing you to do it. You feel like, hey, you can do these if you want. And you might get some cool stuff, but like you can play the full game. You don't ever need to buy one of these, and that is why I think they can kind of continue to put them out and have people buy them, whereas other companies really base the game around you buying those. They were like, you can't play this game unless you buy the figures. Nintendo's like, you can play the full game and you can buy these if you want. And people are like, okay, we will. A lot.
Yes.
We will. They're very pretty.
Well, one of the things that I always found shocking, and we're gonna wrap it up, but like I felt like the toy line that would have gone perfectly with this, like if they had jumped on earlier, would have been Funko. Because like you have these Funko
yeah.
Pops with a circular base,
100%.
and
Well, not everybody's got a base.
no, but you don't even need put it right in the box. Put it right in the bottom of the box, So that way, the people who like to leave them in the box, you
or
don't
you
even
can
have
include
to
a card, a
unopen 'em.
collectible card. You know, that's the thing. These
And
chips,
they lend themselves so well to just be like bonk, like
Yeah.
you just put the box right down and
you can come up with a cool little hub, and that's the thing. You know, it's kind of like I feel like this era in gaming has almost come and gone.
Well, everything's
and-
moving to AR now.
Yeah.
So like Lego has their AR game, which you use your phone, you build a Lego ship. I noticed one of the ones that Maddie got for Christmas had instructions how to make it. Like it's a full Lego build, like regular Lego build. You download this special app on your phone, and as long as you have a phone with like a newer iPhone or a newer Android phone that has the Google AR or the AR kit through Apple, it brings your ship to life. Whatever you made, you look through it, through your phone, and all of a sudden, like literally, like if you have a ship, some kind of like spaceship, you actually see through your phone rockets come out the back of the ship, and
Yep.
like the ship takes off the screen. You're like, the thing you just built came to life.
That's probably the next phase, and it's
So-
able to usually be implemented with a free app on your smartphone. That's already, you have that. Everyone has
Yep.
that. So
Yep.
I think the barriers to entry are much less for that. So I could definitely see that flourishing a bit more. But Toys to Life still occupies, carves out its own little area, but it's not the behemoth it once was. So
No, and I don't think I don't foresee it making a comeback. To be
no,
completely honest with you.
I don't think so. I think it's come and gone and is a product of a bygone era.
Yeah.
But like I said, I still look forward to Nintendo to continue to put out the classic characters, and I don't care that not every game has every character in an amiibo form like a Smash would. It's nice to just have not only new characters that offer content, but they really let you use the old ones as well. You could scan in almost any amiibo to any any game that's compatible, and you'll get something, which
Yeah.
is cool. They don't say, those are the old ones, you got to buy the new ones. They're like, no, we appreciate you bought the old ones. You could use those too.
Yeah, here's something.
Yeah,
Here's some extra coins.
exactly. So it's usually small. Like I said, it's usually not game breaking or altering that much. It's just you feel like you didn't just throw away your money for a little chintzy figure.
And we talked about it very early on the podcast. Our first game of Name That Toy, but like really early Toys to Life. You could technically say Captain Power, right?
Yeah.
I mean that was
Yeah,
technically a
Captain
video
Power in
game.
theory.
That involved the toy. So maybe there always will be a like you said, like a little space carved out for this. But it's certainly an interesting part of toydom
It's
because
very niche.
Yeah.
toys and video games have for the longest time been tied together, whether they're sold at the same retailers or share an aisle. The audience is very much so shared between the two. So it was interesting for a while to watch this boom kind of happen. But I guess we'll see what happens. So Heather's boyfriend, where can we find you online?
Well, I don't post much, but I am on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Tyler.
That's technically all one word, so you're allowed to say it.
I'll even spell it OHTHATTYLER. I don't post much on either, but I am there. I'm more of a lurker. I'm more active on Twitter. You'll get some what I think are funny little tweets and everything.
Hottest of takes.
Only the scorchingest hot takes from Tyler on Twitter. Instagram, I don't think I've posted this year. I posted about 6 pictures last year. So, like I said, I'm more looking at your pics. So if you want me to look at your pics, follow me. I'll follow you back. I'll like some of your pics. But yeah, don't look for much on there.
Well, thank you very much for lending your expertise to us for this episode because we barely we
It's my pleasure. This was a
Yeah.
blast. I'm sorry I rambled on so much. You can
No,
take it out
no
and
way,
post.
no way. One thing I did forget to mention before we go, shout out to the country of Singapore,
Yes. Thank
The whole
you.
damn country.
the whole country, because the month of January was very kind to us here at Adventures in Collecting. We had a banner month, and a huge surge of listeners in Singapore. So
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, whoever you are, I hope you're enjoying the show.
Tell us on Twitter how you found us.
Yeah, seriously, please.
We're very curious.
Yeah, and follow us at AIC_podcast on both Twitter and Instagram. And if you are listening to us in Singapore, we would love to hear from you.
Or anywhere.
Yeah, for that matter, or anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you again to Heather's boyfriend and Dave. Anything you need to
Like parting words,
parting
wisdom.
words?
No.
All right. Wait. So real quick, I'm just gonna point. Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
Yeah, sure, Kansas City.
I'm also going with the Chiefs. We're super boring. Bye, guys.
Is this gonna air after that?
Yes.
It's gonna air on Monday. Yeah, this airs on Monday.
Yeah, so
All right. If I was wrong, 49ers. Put the one in that's right.
Thank you, dear listener, for hanging out with us today. Subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen, and then tell your friends to do it. Thanks also to Joe Azzari, the golden voice behind our intro. Our music is Game Boy Horror by the Zombie Dandies. Find more about them both in our show notes.
follow us on social media at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Stop by and say hi, show us your toy hauls, and share your toy stories. Maybe we'll talk about it in a future episode.
Don't try this at home. Void where prohibited and some assembly required. Each sold separately, not a flying toy. Consult a physician if your toy run exceeds more than 4 hours.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.